Ready? Hello and welcome to The Positive Principle. My name is Max Ryan. I will be one of your hosts for the next 5 weeks for this brand new season of The Positive Principle Show. I'm thrilled to be here. Promises to be an incredible season with lots of surprises, lots of twists, and a whole new theme, which we'll talk about in just a little while. But before we move on, I have to introduce my incredible partner, colleague, incredible woman, Polly Wyrum. Hello, Polly.
Hello, Max, and thank you so much. And if anybody has seen Max and I work together, it's always fun, and everything is unrehearsed. And so we just really go with the flow. And it always works out, but there's always fun. We always laugh, and it's always good. And we always learn. That's another thing.
Always. It's yes. So great. So what we're going to do tonight, since it is the first show, we'll give you a little bullet points about what's going to happen tonight. We'll tell you a little bit more how the show is going to work. We're going to tell you, you're going to be introduced to the cast tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about how we work, how Polly works, how I work. And then you're going to meet, the bulk of the show is that we're going to be talking to our new cast members, and you're going to be getting to know them. Now, if you are on YouTube right now and you're watching live, there should be a chat box, and you can say hello to us. And at the end, we're going to be looking at questions, or we'll try to look throughout, right, Polly? We'll look and see if there's questions and stuff. But at the end, we're also going to have a very, very fun giveaway, and we'll do that at the end of every show. And so you have to be present in the chat to answer the question. Okay?
And you have to pay attention. It's kind of like, it's one of those things you got to be paying attention to what's being said. And I think that that's a key thing for this show, this season in particular, is because I think people will have different responses. Like, our guests are going to respond differently. And I think it's important to notice the different ways they respond to things. And that's one of the reasons why we are encouraging you to pay attention to the detail.
That's right, no doubt. Now, I'm just letting you all know that my being able to see the chat right now is kind of not working on my phone, but that's okay. But I see that there are 12 viewers here, so welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to tell you how the show is going to work. 2 years ago, Polly and I had an idea to help people, because we both love helping people to move from one place to another place, to really see their potential, to move towards this idea of what their dream is, and really have fun while they're doing it. And we both love doing that. We're both professional coaches, so we decided to do a show where we could help people. And from my point of view, I really love reality shows that show that people are changing, people are learning, and this was the perfect kind of platform to do that. The first year, we had lots of changes, lots of different people doing different things, and the people that went through that show, they have all gone on to do a lot of different things with their life since then. And so when you watch the show this year, you're going to watch the cast, you're going to see them shift and change. And just like in a real coaching relationship, the changes don't always come immediately, because we're called the positive principle, because there's little principles that we will drop in here and there that will literally get into people's brains. It will manifest in their life, and you never know when that will mature and actually realize. But coaching is a very, very, very valuable tool, because it makes you move faster than you would on your own. Right, Polly?
Absolutely. And the thing is, the guests that we have that we're working with will each be coaching one-on-one with either Max or I during the week. And so it's not just what's going on in the show, but they actually will get really to the nitty-gritty stuff off camera. But then they come back and share some of this stuff, because there's going to be challenges. I mean, that's what it's all about. And so then they come back and they share how they experienced it. And that's what's really cool, because you know what? We all experience things differently, but we all experience challenges in life. We just do. And so, I talk about it a lot. Having faith is a huge thing that gets us through these challenges. But whatever it is, we have challenges, and so our wonderful guests are going to come back and share how they move through them.
That's right, for sure, for sure. And the other part that's so valuable about you watching the show is that you will be able to learn with the guests as we go through this next 5 weeks, right? So they will have assignments, they will be doing things, and we will be putting, for instance, what we talk about today, after the show today, we will be putting onto the website, thepositiveprincipalshow.com, resources so that you can do the same thing that our participants are doing too. That makes it really, really fun. So we'd like to hear what your I don't want to say something else, your process is too, which makes it a lot of fun.
And I'm just going to say right now, what we're doing this time is like really, it's pretty simple, but it's going to work amazingly. And so if everybody who's watching, if you have a pen and a piece of paper, grab it, because there's going to be a little exercise. You can do it now, or you can do it, after the show. But there's going to be something that's kind of cool, but it's an ongoing thing. And so I like what we came up with. I think it's good. And just so everybody knows, so Max, you can get hold of Max.
Oh, yes. So you can get everything on thepositiveprincipalshow.com, first of all. There's a thing about the coaches, so there's a thing about me and Polly. My website is attractpositiveresults.com, attractpositiveresults.com, where I do coaching, where I have programs all the time. I am teaching, I am on live stream, all of that. So you can follow me, go to attractpositiveresults.com. What about you, Polly?
And mine is gateways2peace.com. So that's gateways and with the number 2peace.com. And I do the same thing, coaching, intuitive work. And I think that that's another thing that we bring into well, I know it is. It's not just I think. We bring in the intuitive stuff into the coaching, and that helps us connect even better with the people, with our clients. And I really like that. And I have a radio show. I do, actually, I've really gotten into writing. I do a newsletter, I do blogs. So if you're interested in what I write about, sign up for my newsletter, which is at gateways2peace.com. And that's it.
All right. I think it is time to reveal the first big twist of the season. So, in a true reality show, we want to expect the unexpected, just like a reality show does. And our first big twist on the Positive Principles Season 2 is that this season, we only have 2 participants. 2 years ago, we had 4. So right away, you can tell the show is going to be very different with only 2 participants instead of 4. There's a lot of reasons why we did that, but we, as Polly and I were talking to people and we were going over it, we are people that follow our intuition. And we knew that there was going to be something different about this year. And we said, you know what? Let's mix it up and let's do this, because I think that first of all, for a couple of different reasons, it's going to be more valuable to you, because the time you're going to be able to get to know these 2 who you're going to meet in just a second much more than in the first season, because you just got little snippets of them. Now you're going to get to know them much more. So there's going to be 2 participants instead of 4 participants this week. Let's talk about some of the reasons why we chose to do 2. And what do you have to say, Polly?
Well, I think part of it is I like the vulnerability factor of having 2 versus 4, because there really is, like you said, more action to share. But one of the things that really stood out for me, and I keep talking about it, is these 2 people you might look at first and say, oh, well, there's not much, they're pretty similar demographic-wise or whatever. But here's the thing. They're very dissimilar in the way they move through life and the way they process things. And that is what really, what I appreciate so much, is that I feel like more people are going to be able to connect. Like they're going to connect to one more than the other in terms of how they move through life and how they process things. And that really helps us know that we're satisfying the audience needs. Like there's going to be something that they look at and they're like, wow, that's just like me.
Yeah.
And that's what we want.
That's what we want. And we decided last time we had 4 different people that were very, very different for sure. But we like this idea about having 2 different people that show 2 different sides of how we process things, how we think about things, how we work things out. And so every kind of person processes things differently. One might be more feeling oriented and one might be more action oriented. And both are fine. And getting through your, kind of breaking through that, what your natural tendency is to kind of go over to the other side, a lot of times opens up your perception, and it also helps you to move kind of faster into your life, right?
It does. I mean, a prime example of this is how Max and I mean, you can even look at it like horoscope wise or whatever, people say the different signs are different, but how Max and I, like Max is very detail oriented and he's very he likes things, you like things organized. God thank him when he's with me, because I am just like, it'll work out. That's just how it is. But you know what? It always works out. And that's just how I move through life. So
that's right. And you know what? And it's true. It's like we are on the horoscope, we're on the opposite ends. Virgo and Pisces on the opposite ends of the horoscope. And so but we understand each other and we get each other. That's what the whole thing is. So so this year you're going to be able to see 2 different people, not quite like Max and Polly, but you will start to see them being different. So it's fantastic. All right, should we move into introducing our cast?
Yes.
All right, everybody. All right, our first guest, our first participant on the show is a woman that as soon as I actually met her, I was like, hello, hello, hello. And she's gonna crack up when she says, when I bring her on. There was something, even when she was in the chats in Periscope, her name stood out for me. There was something intriguing. And then I kind of got to know her when she did a little reading with me. And then I was like, oh, this is a really wonderful woman. Very diverse. She's California, New York, very much like me. Artist, skateboarder, thinker, wonderful, complex woman who I just think you are going to love, love, love. Please, please, please welcome our very, very first cast member, Joan. Give her a big round of applause. Yay. Hi, Joan.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Max. Hi, Polly. Hi.
Great to see you, Joan. Can you tell everyone where you are right now?
I am in my backyard in Northern California.
Nice.
Cali represent.
Cali represent. Nice.
Yes. What else? What's that?
The other day you were talking about why you like being outside. Can you tell us about that? You were talking about, oh, I'm outside.
Oh yeah, I just after so many years in New York, I used to work in a photo studio and I missed possibly 4 years of sunsets.
Woo!
That's kind of crazy. And so when I left New York, I was watching the sunset and I realized I hadn't seen it in a long time. So I thought it was really important to see it as much as possible to make up for all that lost time. So I really like being outside, and one day I'd really like to have a beach house. So this is like how to get closer to it by being outside.
Well, New York is near a beach.
Yes, yes.
Not quite the same. Not quite the same. Well, it's great to have you on the show. And so you lived in New York, you said, for 10 years, right?
10 years. Yep. After college, I lived there for 10 years. I pursued my dream to be a professional photographer, and it unfolded little by little. I started, actually, even with college, my first job, I didn't want to have a desk job, so I started working at Starbucks. And actually, my first Starbucks in New York was in Times Square.
Right down the street from me right now.
Yeah, that was an experience. And then I waited tables, and little by little, I would use the money from work to save up for photo equipment. And then I found photography contacts in the city, and soon enough I was working on photo shoots for magazines and being on sets with celebrities, and just I guess it was just an adventure. Not just, it was. It was my life. So
Fantastic.
yep, so I did that for 10 years. Mm-hmm.
Very good. And now you moved back to California when?
I touched down in March last year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great, Joan. I'm so glad that you're here. We're all so excited, and we're excited to have the audience get to know you even better. Everyone in the chat is saying, hi, Joan. Hi, Joan. Hello, Joan. Yay, Joan. So you're being welcomed. You're being welcomed. We're really, really glad that you're here, Joan. Great. Yay.
Thank you.
All right. Polly?
So you know what would be cool is if Joan could post like something, a picture that she's taken or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be really cool because that's another way that people can kind of connect with you. I think that's awesome.
Thank you. I'd love to do that.
Great.
Okay, so I want to introduce our next guest also. And to me, what she reminds me of is she would be a phenomenal life coach. So she's very, you know, whenever that takes place. But she's very much like the caregiver. She's very much, you know, like the nurturer. She's accomplished. She's gone to school. She's, you know, she's done, you know, like how sometimes people talk about you want to cross the T's, dot the I's, whatever. So she's done all that. But she also feels like there's something maybe that she missed along the way. And she lives in Oklahoma. And so the next guest is Amanda.
Hi.
Hi, Amanda.
Well, first of all, what, Polly?
Well, how does that feel? Like when I said that you could be like a life coach one day, because you're so nurturing.
I love that idea because, you know, kind of like what you said, I'm the nurturer and caregiver. I am the one that just is like mama bear to all of my friends. Mm-hmm. I love listening to my friends. I love giving advice. And so it's turning the tables whenever someone asks me about myself, you know, because I'm so used to being the one listening and giving and but yeah, Polly, you hit it right on the head. And you know what you said, you know, I did the whole, graduated high school, went to college, I worked, I still have the same job. I love it. But I do think a part of me does feel like I have so much potential. It's just finding it and really, you know, getting a hold of it and taking off because I am safe, you know, and that's not a bad thing to be safe, but I get comfortable in what I'm doing in my routine. And so I feel like sometimes I block my own blessings and I block myself with the what if. And so I just feel like I have like this burning potential that I really want to find and show and like do it.
Perfect. So. And you'll get there. And you're right. I mean, one of the great things about you is you do recognize your blessings. You are very blessed. But perhaps you're blessed with things that you don't recognize yet. And maybe, you know, ideally that's what's going to come out in the show because I'm sure that there's a whole nother level of what you're blessed with that you haven't even realized.
Yeah. And I'm ready for it. So bring it on. I'm ready.
Awesome.
Yay, bring it on. We love that. We love that, Amanda. Fantastic. Great. It's great to have both of you on the show. We are so excited to work with you and to get in and start working with you. Now, Polly's going to go off on this just a little bit because it really, what we're going to tell you is that this year, we are going to have a theme to the show. Like many reality shows, they have a theme. Like if you watch Big Brother or Every Year or Survivor, those kind of shows have themes. And this year's theme is the fear factor. So this year, we are going to be all about facing your fears, understanding what your fears are, breaking through your fears, transcending your fears. And really, Polly kind of came up with this idea, and I thought it was so perfect. And it really fits with a coaching model. When you have a coaching model, it's about stretching your boundaries, moving beyond and going to something. So Joan and Amanda, get ready, because this year is the fear factor. Dun, dun, dun.
You guys might be too young to remember the show where they had to like lay in the bed with the bugs and all that. Did you watch that? It's old.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Okay, well, good.
We're not going to put you in bed with bugs. I swear, we're not going to do that. And you're not going to be jumping off of a 10-story building. We're not going to do that. But maybe an airplane. I'm not sure. But anyway, Polly, let's talk a little bit more about this idea about breaking through your fears.
Perfect. Okay, so the idea of this is that we, at all times, like our thoughts and our actions. Am I echoing?
You're okay.
Okay, so our thoughts and our actions are a percent of desire for success and fear. So if you were to draw like a cylinder or a circle, you could fill in part of it would be fear, and part of it is going to be success. And it's when we have a greater percent of desire for success that we're actually succeeding, right? And if we have a greater percent of fear, we're sitting on the couch and, you know, we're laying low. We're not stretching ourselves out there at all because of fear. And so I think it's really important to identify, you know, not only what your fears are, and sometimes people could put names to it, sometimes they can't, sometimes it's just vague. And with success, it's the same thing. Sometimes we just have this vague idea of success, but typically we're going to achieve more if we can actually label that success and we know what we're going for, instead of this vague idea of like, I want a home with 3 kids on a corner lot, or whatever it is that you want, right? And so if you can label it, if you can desire it, you're gonna get it. And it's the same with fear. If you can label that fear, I really feel that that helps you. And so that's one of the things that we're focusing on.
Yes, for sure, for sure. It's really, really, really true what you're saying, because, you know, a lot of times people are trying to go for their dreams, and Polly and I help people to go for their dream jobs, their dream husband, their dream career, all of those things. And for some reason, it's not happening. They can be doing a lot of the things right. It can be working, but it's not quite there. And many times the culprit is there is underlying fears that they're not looking at. And those fears, we have years and years and years of going, oh, I'm not gonna, no. I'm just gonna pretend, I'm gonna pretend. But when you can like squarely look at that fear, that's when you gain control. That's when you can say, you know what? This fear isn't bigger than me. It's not a big dragon that I have to lash. It's just something that I need to look at and I can move through. But it's very hard to do that when you're not looking at your fears. It doesn't work. Right, Polly?
And it takes courage. I mean, that's, you know, I talk about courage all the time. But one of the things that I, you know, when I said have a piece of paper and a pen ready, is this is good for everybody. Draw a circle and then figure out what percent is fear and what percent is success. And something else I'd like you to do, and this could change week to week, what color is your fear, right? Does your fear this week, see if it stays the same color, or does it change? And what color is your success? Because having those visuals and really connecting with it, because when you're really thinking about what color is it, you're connecting with it. And that's what it takes to change things.
That's right. I love that, because any tool that we can use to help us to look clearly at it, to see that we're bigger than what we think that problem is, I'm all about that. I am all about that. So the rest of our show today, we're going to be talking to Joan and Amanda about 5 or 6 different points about fears. And so we're going to just start that conversation right now. Sound good?
Perfect.
All right, Polly, do you want to talk to Amanda first? We'll each do these different points that we have, and we'll just talk about it.
Okay, so
and you at home, wait. Everyone at home, you write it down too, but I want to say one thing. One of our participants from last year is in the chat. Mary Beth is here. She says season 2, woohoo. So Mary Beth Blake, who was here on our first season, is here. So welcome, Mary Beth. It's great to see you.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Amanda, do you know your top 3 goals?
Yes.
Okay, what are they?
Okay, so my top 3 goals, and it's probably, well, sorry. Ooh, caught off guard. Let's see. So my 3 top goals would probably be, one goal would probably be to move to a different state and really just put myself out there. You know, I was born and raised in Tulsa, Oklahoma. My family's there. I love it, but I just feel like I could probably flourish and really expand myself if I just kind of moved out of my comfort zone a little bit. My second goal would be something like to work on myself, is to really be able to know that whatever happens is meant to be, and that whatever happens, I'll be okay. Because I constantly say what if I don't get married? What if I don't have kids? What if I don't find my passion? So I really just want to be able to be like, you know what? This is my life. It's perfect the way it is. Whatever is meant to be is meant to be. I just need kind of like some direction getting to that point. And then a third goal would probably be to find something that I'm really passionate about. I like my career, like my job, but I would really like to find like my passion. You know, currently I love to journal. So maybe that would be starting a blog. Mm-hmm. I don't know what type of blog at all, but I mean, anything's possible. So just kind of finding my strengths and really fine tuning that, and just having like just a passion, something that I do every day that I just really pour myself into and love.
So a passion project.
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Okay.
Outside of my everyday 9-to-5 job.
Okay, so the next thing, and I'm just going to kind of go over it, because the next thing is, are your goals clearly defined? And I think yours are relatively defined, but I think that there's one that you glossed over, and we're going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it now, but then we're going to talk more about it when we do our coaching, or whoever's coaching with you. Mm-hmm. It's you touched briefly about having a partner, you know, husband, family, that type of thing.
Yeah.
We're going to dive into that a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I think it warrants it.
It does. Because, you know, where I live, and maybe others feel this way too. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only young female out there that feels this way. But, you know, where I'm from, being 27, single, never married, no kids is really out of the norm. And, you know, 98% of my friends, you know, they're married or have kids. So I go to a lot of weddings and baby showers and kids' birthdays, which I love all my little nieces and nephews that I have. But, you know, it's just, you know, where I'm kind of struggling with, you know, where I thought I would be in life at this point and where I'm at. And it's not that the path that I took was wrong or bad or anything like that. It's just, it's not the path that I envisioned for myself. So I'm having trouble kind of accepting it, I guess. Just kind of like, you know, well, I thought I would be at this point by now, and I'm not. And I kind of feel like that's probably something that's holding me back as well, because I'm so stuck on the it's
and
not
that's
happening.
perfect. I mean, that's one of that's huge for you.
Yeah. And it's something that I recognize. It's just getting past it, I guess. Just kind of accepting it and being like, you know what, it's okay that I'm not those things. It's fine I'm not married. It's fine I don't have kids, but I'm having a hard time kind of accepting it, honestly.
Right. It's a great thing to be part of what we work with. It's not all of you by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Okay, I'm going to kind of abbreviate some of the goals or some of the questions. But do you think that you're actively working on your goals?
No.
Perfect.
I mean, no. I mean, let's call it what it is. No. And it's because, you know, for one, I love the theme, the fear factor, because, you know, it's the first time I heard the theme, so I love it, because I have underlying fears that are holding me back from actively obtaining these goals. And that's why I'm just kind of like at a point where I'm like, I need some direction, please.
It's perfect. I mean, that's why you're here, because it's perfect. I mean, you want to change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to change. I mean, that's awesome. Okay, do you have any identifiable fears?
Identifiable fears? I mean, unless we're talking about Max's jumping out of an airplane, that's kind of fearful for me. But I mean, if we're talking internally, like within myself of fear, it would. I think my main fear is just not is like getting older and thinking, why did I waste so much time worrying, or why did I waste so much time not doing something I love, or something like that. I'm a big questioner. I'm a big planner. Not that it's a bad thing, but it really is holding me back. So I guess like a fear would just be not living up to my full potential. And while but I'm sure as the show goes out, more will come out.
For sure.
More it will. So
so not living up to your potential, you feel like that's your greatest fear?
Yeah, not using my strengths to help other people, probably. Because I mean, I want to do something that's just passion filled, and right now I'm just not, and it's just because I have those fears and I'm holding myself back, and it's me. So, but like I said, as the show goes on, more will come out, and whew.
Okay, so the big one is, which you think is bigger, your fear factor or your success factor?
Oh, that's a good question, Polly.
Of course.
The biggest would probably be my fear factor.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like with the fear that I have, just is keeping me from moving to my success. So I feel like I need to conquer that animal, kind of inside, and to really be able to move into that direction. So.
And probably identifying your fears. Like, it was easier for you to identify your goals.
Yeah.
Identify your fears.
Yeah, because I mean, that's not a question you get asked every single day, and with me being a planner, not knowing, and so I mean, it's just an honest answer. So
perfect.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I mean, it's awesome. It's perfect. Yeah. And I bet there's a lot of people that can relate to how you feel.
And I was just gonna say in the chat, I'm telling you, Amanda, they're like, I can relate. That sounds so familiar. That sounds like me. So listen, you are completely right, Amanda, when you say that you do have things that are very familiar to a lot of people. So and one of the really one of the things that reasons why we chose the two of you, because we thought, oh my God, people will get you. So thank you so much for all of that information. That's a lot. And it's exciting to see you get excited. It's exciting to see you being willing. One of the biggest things in coaching is willingness. And boy, you really are willing, Amanda. And that's one of your really wonderful qualities, I have to say. It's just beautiful, really beautiful.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. All right, Joan. Now, Joan, you have now had the opportunity to sit there and listen, and now you're probably going, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? What am I going to say? So, Joan, we're going to go through the same process with you right now, okay? So, take a breath, Joan. Okay, just a conversation. Just like we asked Amanda, what are your top 3 goals?
This has kind of been an ongoing goal for the last few years, so I feel like I'm bound to accomplish it, but I haven't done it yet. which is I want to have a photography show of some work that I've been making the last few years, and I've been really excited about it for a while, and people have purchased the work, but I really want like gallery representation or just some kind of like coming together that involves hanging my work on walls and having a big party.
I love that.
Music.
Nice, nice. Very
so
good.
yeah, that's one big one.
Uh-huh.
The other one would be, I haven't really decided where I want to live next. And so I feel like I want to go overseas, but I'm having trouble figuring out where. It's kind of a big planet. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to find some guidance, was to try to learn how to focus my laser because it's not fully, the image isn't fully, I don't know, just
Right.
it's not in focus.
Right.
And
So it's not, so that's not very clearly, that's very different than you said. The photography show is very clearly defined. You're like, I have representation, there's going to be a party, there's going to be, that's pretty clear. That's pretty clear.
Yeah.
But this one about where to live is not so clear.
No, I just want to be happy somewhere by some water, but that's, there's a lot of water on Earth.
There's a lot of water. Very good. Those are really admirable. I love those. I love those. What's another big goal for you?
Third one. Those are the two most urgent ones.
Mm-hmm.
There could be like a maybe more. Can it be a more relaxed goal?
Whatever. Yes. Life,
for example,
life
like
is full of different
having
kinds.
some kind of.
Go ahead.
Okay. Like I thought it would be really interesting to like have a school where I could teach, like where it could be traditional academic things to help kids with their studies, but then also extracurricular things like learning how to DJ or learning photography or learning about art history or just painting. Just like that would be an interesting thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Good.
I feel like that could be a cool thing to be part of like my life story.
That's great. I love that. That kind of addresses this idea about what your legacy is going to be, right?
Yes.
Right. I love that. I love thinking about legacy, of what is your legacy going to end up being. And I love that. And the other thing I want to point out to you, which is very interesting, Joan, is that you're like, well, kind of a relaxed goal. Start a school. I'm like, wow, a lot of people would think that that's their biggest goal. And I just, you know, what I love is that you, like Amanda, are willing to be like, hey, let's do something.
It sounds like a good thing to do.
It really does say a lot about you and your character that you're like, that's a relaxed thing to do. And I think that that's just, I know that you have a passion for teaching, and I think that that's just absolutely beautiful. So let me just ask you, of all those three things, the gallery, the where to live, and the school, which one are you actively really pursuing, or any of them right now?
I think probably the gallery one. That I don't think I'm necessarily pursuing actively, because I think that involves needing to meet more people, like get into the art network in California, which I haven't actively done. Probably the one about living overseas is being actively pursued in the sense of like being very disciplined about saving money and being disciplined about looking for more work opportunities as a freelancer. The school thing, not really. Just by, I mean, my work is in working with kids, but I haven't like thought about organizing it or strategizing around it.
Okay.
That's kind of like a longer, fuzzier goal.
Okay. We have different, you know, it's interesting. I think about like goal achieving and coaching and all of that stuff in a way like as I thought as an actor, because I was an actor. An actor, as a character, you have lifetime objectives, and then you have like scene objectives. So like this scene, I want to have this scene, but in your life, the character wants a bigger objective. So that kind of falls into like your legacy, which I really love. Really great. Okay, Joan, those are great goals. And I have to say, just looking, people are like, go big, go big. That's, people are like, people said, don't move to Canada. People are like, you're doing it well. You're doing it, Joan. Joan will make it happen. Everyone's so
Wow.
what you're doing. It's really great.
That's amazing. Thanks, everyone.
I'm loving all the support. So, Joan, I want to ask you this. What is one of your identifiable or big fears?
I definitely worry about, I really don't worry as much as I used to, but I feel like I lock up and get scared when, I think specifically when I'm around art dealers, which they just give off a certain, I don't know, it's intimidating. So I don't know if it's them or me, or it's probably both, but I clam up. I get like stage fright. I don't know what to say. I'm just not, I'm like a cramped small version of myself rather than like happy and expansive and relaxed. It's like not those things.
Yeah, I love that introspection. It's really great to see that you, a lot of times in coaching, I say, are you coming from, you'll probably hear this when we coach together. Are you coming from Big Joan or Little Joan? And,
yeah.
You know, everyone does it differently at different times. So I love that you've been able to identify that. I think a lot of people have certain people in their lives. It could be a group of people. Like a lot of people are really uncomfortable around people with a lot of money if they've never been around a lot of money, or they, you know, they're really uncomfortable because they think, oh, they're so different or something. So let me just ask you this. When you're around those art dealers and I guess, you know, publicists, agents, that kind of world, what is one of the things that your little fear voice says to you?
I don't know if it's real or perceived, but I do feel like I'm being sized up. Because they they frequently, well, art dealers are looking for people generally who have a lot of money to spend on expensive art. And so when they see artists, generally you can kind of feel walls go up. And I lost track of the question.
No, I was just asking, what does your little fear voice say when you're around those people?
Yeah, like they know you're not rich yet. They know that you want something from them. They know you're a creative person and they have the power. So that's the internal dialogue. Okay, good. I'm sure, thank you for that. That's great. So those are something, I'm sure Polly would agree, those are the kinds of things that you can really work on, because those are very specific things that are happening in your head. And everyone watching here, I'm sure, has those fear voices, and a lot of coaching is around what is your fear voice, because if you can see your fear voice for being what it is and shifting your perception around it, that's when you can like show up as Big Joan, right? I love that. Big Joan. Big Joan. Love that. Very good. All right. So Big Joan, this is the final question now. What would you say is bigger, your fear factor or your success factor? I would say I think it would, just lately, like in the past month, it's like success is starting to overtake fear, but the focus and action part has to get into the mix too. So I feel like my inner game is getting stronger because it kind of went down when I left New York. But it's like I'm getting the strength back, and So this comes at a really great time.
Great. And that's why you call Polly and I. That's why, you know, I believe in law of attraction for sure. That's why you attracted this at this exact time, because that's exactly what you needed. And you know what? I'm all about taking action. So good for you. I'm so glad you are here, Joan. That is fantastic. Yay. Give yourself a round of applause, Joan and Amanda. We are so excited that you are here. So audience, now you have gotten to know Joan and Amanda a little bit better. In the weeks to come, what is going to happen? I'll tell you a little bit how the show is going to work. Now you know a little bit more about them. In the week that you don't see us, in between now and next Thursday, first of all, you're going to tell all your friends to tune into the show, right? And then, but in between, Joan and Amanda are both going to be coached by Polly and I. So we're going to take some of this material, we're going to talk to them, we're going to help them to move forward. And then next week, we will find out how they've come from week 1 to week 2, right? So that's how the show is going to work. And you're going to see a big difference by the time we get to the end of the month and see how Joan and Amanda have changed. All right, so Polly, we have another big announcement, don't we?
We do have another big announcement.
What's
And also, this is not the big announcement, but I was just going to say, if everybody between now and next week, take the time to draw your circle or whatever shape you want to do and fill in, just so you're kind of in tune with where your fear factor is and where your success factor is. Fill that in so you see where your ratio is, and give it, you know, as much detail as you can, the colors, whatever. If you even have words, put it in there, because the more detail you can do, and hopefully, you know, you'll do yours each week and you can see a shift along with Joan and Amanda.
And the other thing too is that we're going to have, you're on the Positive Principles show, we will post these questions in this order. So you can do it, and then you can add to the blog there what your questions are, I mean, what your fears are and all that stuff. And then we can really create a community of support while you're going through this, when you log on and you add to the blog. All right? All right. Good. Okay. Polly, would you like to do the big announcement?
So is this big announcement our giveaway? Is that what we're talking about?
No.
Max, I'm sorry. You got to do the big
Listen, I have to keep it all organized. I'm the Virgo, remember?
Yes.
So the next big announcement is that we split people up.
Oh.
We split the contestants. There's no prize. The prize is your whatever. We split them up so that we work with Polly or work with me. So now you know. Do you want me to say it?
You say it.
Okay. So for right now, Joan is going to be working with me. Yay. So excited. So Joan is going to start working with me first. And Polly is going to be working with...
And I will be working with Amanda. And I'm sure people might have kind of surmised all along.
Right.
Maybe not.
That's right. So we will have private sessions with our participants during the week. It'll be great. And then we report back, and we'll report about all the planes that we pushed them out of, and the bugs we had them crawl through, and all of that stuff. Great. So Amanda and Joan will be obviously we'll be talking to you later on. So now every week we're gonna do what, Polly?
We get to do the giveaways, and giveaways are so much fun.
Yay. All right. So every week we'll all have a giveaway to give. Polly will have a giveaway to give. And this is the way that the giveaway is going to work, is that hopefully you've been watching the whole show, because we're going to ask you a question. And in the YouTube chat that I have right here, very brightly, the first one to answer the question is going to be the person that wins. And we will tell you how to contact us, the winner, to contact us after we're done. So hopefully you were listening very carefully, because we have a couple of things to ask you. So Polly, would you like to do yours first?
Yes, I would like to do mine first. Okay, so what I'm giving away is a free coaching session, and it'll be an intuitive coaching session. And so the person that gets my giveaway, they will know what Amanda's greatest fear is that she shared. So just put that little response in there.
So I'm actually, there's always a little bit of a delay here. So are you on your phone, Polly?
You know what? I'm not able to get on mine. Are you able to read it?
Yeah, I'm on mine right now, so I can watch. So the first person that says the fear, oh boy, I hope that I know which one you're talking about, Polly. Polly, text me really quickly.
Okay.
Because I'm going to have to see.
Yes.
So please put Amanda's fear in.
I'm putting it in there right now.
Okay. So just text me and I'll know. People are starting to bring up an answers.
I just sent it to you.
Okay. All right. Got it. I got it. Very
Did
interesting.
anybody else get it?
Someone's pretty close. Oh, Nicole got it. Nicole got it. Fear of her potential.
Perfect.
The fear of her potential. Nicole, congratulations. Yay. Nicole from Down Under. Nicole from Down Under. And she actually put a little joke in the chat earlier, Joan. She's like, I live near the beach all the time. So maybe you want to move to Australia. So congratulations, Nicole. This is how you're going to contact. I know you know how to contact me, but just to make it easier, please go to thepositiveprincipalshow.com. There's a contact page on there, Nicole, and please say, I'm Nicole. I won the session with Polly, right?
Awesome. Yay, super exciting.
Congratulations, Nicole. Yippee, yay. That's right. And Nicole says, yes, come here, Joan. So you need to get to Australia.
I want to go there also.
Me too. Let's all, okay, Positive Principal Down Under. Positive Principal Down Under. Yes.
Yes. Can we all go?
Very good.
Yes. That's the prize. Is that the finale is going to be in Australia.
We didn't tell you. And you win a trip to Australia, all expenses paid. All right. Okay. So the next question. I mean, well, actually, we're first of all, I'm going to tell you we're mixing up all of our giveaways each week. So you're going to be all different kinds of things. So for this week, from me, you will win my book, Say Yes If, autographed, of course. And you'll also get the oracle cards that go with it. So the gift set of my book and oracle cards. Whoever answers the next question will get the book and the cards from me. So here we go. And the question is, what was the one of the skills that Joan was going to teach her kids at the school?
Ooh.
What was one? Oh, thank you. Carissa says it's the best book ever. Thank you, Carissa. Thank you. What was one of the skills that she was going to teach the kids at her school? I'm thinking of one in particular. She said it a few times. Oh, Sarah got it. DJing. DJ.
Oh, awesome.
Very good. Congratulations, Sarah Wallander. Congratulations. Very good. Very good. Yay. There was a couple things, but you said DJing a few times, so which is great. So Sarah, you win my book and my cards. So please go to thepositiveprincipalshow.com. Say I won your book and cards. Give your address, and I'll send them out to you, and I will sign them. So congratulations, Sarah and Nicole. So what a great first show, right, Polly?
It was fabulous, and we covered a lot.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And there's an angel just got her wings, I guess. I love it. So we are so excited. We will be back next week, same time, same place. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing so that you can chat. I hope that you all had a great time. You can actually go to thepositiveprincipalshow.com right now. You can find out more about Amanda, more about Joan. Amanda's blog is up. Oh, that's the other thing is the Amanda and Joan will be putting a weekly blog up to see about their process, about what we're going through, and you can share them on there also. And then also I will be putting up the list of those questions we asked them, so you can do it at home on the blog. Okay. Great. So we'll be back in next week at the same time, same place. Polly, what would you like to say?
I just want to say thank you, everybody, for taking the time out of your evening for joining us. And just, you know, I love getting feedback. And so any comments, any questions, whatever, fire them off to us, because it helps us know what people want to hear about and learn about.
And follow us on our Facebook page. And definitely put things on the Facebook page. You can put your first impressions about Joan, about Amanda. You can put in encouraging words for them, any experiences you have on the Facebook page. It's completely open and it's for all of you. Okay, everybody? All right. So have a really positive week, and we will see you later. Let's all say bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.